Hey, this is Jeff here with eBay Addicts, and today my special guest is Tommy, the Buffalo Picker. How are you doing, man?
Doing well, doing well.
Awesome, awesome. So go ahead and introduce yourself in case people don't know who you are.
Okay, so yeah, I am Buffalo Picker. I'm also a part-time reseller. I've been reselling now for 3 years, and I am a full-time fellow employee along with being retired military. So yeah, I'm glad to be here. This is my second go round with Jeff. Definitely glad to be here.
Yeah, for sure. We had you on last time, and so I'm going to try not to make you uncomfortable this time. So, I'll try not to
Yeah,
ask you
I
nothing
mean,
too
them
crazy.
questions, man, them questions were coming, man. I was like, man, I'm in rapid fire.
Yeah, you're like, where did this guy come from? He did his homework on me. Where did this? So what's going on with you, Tommy? Man, tell me, man, how was your Christmas? How was the holidays and all that? Because I haven't got to talk to you in a while, man.
Yeah, so Christmas as well, man. I mean, life of a reseller. We basically tried to put it in until probably like 3 days before Christmas, and then I shut it down for a week and a half to spend some time with family, and I got it started back up after that, man. So yeah, I enjoyed my time off. You definitely got to do some of that when you're doing this business.
Yeah, for sure. I was with you, man. You were talking about, trying to find items on Black Friday. I was one of the people that was out there on Black Friday, and Walmart kind of sucked, but I went to Best Buy and a couple of places and found some stuff. But I mean, I was definitely can relate where you were just like you were looking for items on Black Friday, and some of these places it just wasn't what you thought it was going to be. I went there to this Walmart, and they said, "Well, we'll sell these video games, but you have to order them online." I'm like, "What do you mean? I have cash. I'm here in person. I never heard of this stuff, online stuff. Where's this
Right,
coming
right,
from?" You know?
right.
So yeah, I ran into the same problems you had. So today,
Yeah.
Tommy, man, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about on Amazon because I was at your show last week on Friday, and you were talking and explaining to people like, look, man, if you ain't hip to the game, if you're not getting your foot in the door at Amazon, the door might close in your face. So if you
Right.
don't go ahead and start taking 2 or 3 steps forward in that right direction down the road, they're going to make things. It's going to be harder and harder and harder and more difficult to get logged in to become an Amazon seller because you've been
Right.
doing it part time. You still work your full time job, and you still did very very well last year in 2020. I mean, so if you guys follow Buffalo Picker, he sells all what type of things you sell on Amazon? A little bit of everything.
Um, my main thing is toys. I sell whatever, whatever I'm gated to sell, but my main thing is toys. I try to focus on toys. I made a lot of money selling toys, and I plan on amping that up even more this year.
All right, awesome. So so you do a lot of retail arbitrage, right? Like
Right,
going to Walmart and Target and places like that. Is there
right.
certain things that certain items that people should look out for? Like, should they be doing those Funko Pops, or what should they be looking out for if they're in the toy section? Just like
Um,
Legos or anything on clearance? Like, what should we be on the lookout for?
yeah, well, Legos speak for itself. That's that product right there. You can pretty much get full MSRP on that item. So if you can, whether you're selling on Amazon or eBay, if you can get your hands on Legos, you never leave that in the store. If you can find it in the clearance. I have been that guy that when I first started, I knew I wasn't ungated in Lego, so I would just leave it there, even though it'd be sitting there with a great price, not thinking that it'll sell just the same on eBay. But I kind of got smart and I started collecting those things, and I started keeping them until I finally got ungated in Lego on Amazon. But yeah, Lego is probably be my number one. Number two would be anything Nintendo when it comes to video games. PS4 is a good one, which we got the PS5 out now, the Xbox. But above all, I would go with Nintendo. Nintendo outsell all of those games, systems and stuff. So Nintendo will probably be number two. And a little secret that a lot of people kind of overlook is Calico Critters. Calico Critters is a top selling toy as well. It's creeping on up the ranks. And a lot of people overlook it because they're like, I guess because it's not real popular, out there in the commercials and stuff like that. People overlook it, but I have made a lot of money with Calico Critters.
Okay, awesome. I wanted to say hi to Gravity Goods is in the chat. He said, I just started and becoming an Amazon seller account this week. What advice do you have for a new Amazon seller?
Scan, 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 man. That's all. That's all I can tell you is get that Amazon seller app, get out in those stores, get boots on the ground and scan, because the unfortunate thing for new resellers is that Amazon do not tell you what you are auto ungated in. So you have to go out and find it. So basically I can tell you, get on those books and get out in these retail stores and scan until that thing tell you you are auto ungated to sell that particular item, because that's the only way you're going to find it. And on your free time, when you at home and you can't get out, go online and do the online arbitrage and scan these clearances and find items through your phone to see if you can sell. I mean, just like you go out and scan a product in the store, you can take your phone, open up to the website, and just put your seller app over that photo, and it'll come up on your phone as if you was in the store to tell you whether or not you can sell that product. So yeah, that's the advice I give you, is get out there, scan as much as you can. When you can't get out there, go online and scan these stores' clearance areas. And if you can find a deal, go ahead and order it right there. You know, I did that a lot as well on Walmart and Targets. You know, so it's deals out there. It's deals. Everybody. One thing you got to remember as a new Amazon reseller is that even though you're competing against resellers like myself and people that are way more experienced than me, is that we can't be in two places at one time. We only got so much money we're going to spend, and there's only so many products we want to put our money on. So there's plenty of products out there for you to try to find and be able to ship it into Amazon and get that deal.
Yeah, I always say there's plenty of merchandise out there for everybody. It's the whole trick is just getting it for the right price. That's right. The whole trick. There's no shortage of merchandise. So Buffalo Pickerman, I wanted to talk a little bit about being gated in certain categories, because to me, that is like the biggest thing that people complain about when they're getting started on Amazon, or Amazon sellers say, well, I can't sell this and I can't sell that. And they're gated in certain categories. So could you talk a little bit about that? Like what you need to do and how you can go about getting gated, because you can actually go and get items from wholesale distributors and then turn in your ticket into Amazon and say, hey, like, for example, I bought these DVDs from this wholesaler. Can I get ungated in this category? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So basically what you want to do is find what items do you really like selling, like what category, if it's household goods, if it's toys, if it's automobile, whatever household, whatever category you think you'll be good at, that's where you want to focus your attention at. Or you look at like your area, like that it's several stores that are loaded with cosmetics. You say, okay, well, I know a little bit about cosmetics and I want to get ungated in cosmetics. So what you have to do is go and find authorized distributors, not just distributors, authorized distributors. That's the key to go ahead and submit your documentations to them to try to get ungated. Now, the way in a nutshell, the way the process work is, and I have a template. If you need the template, I can provide you the template. You take this letter, you send it to the company in an email, because most of these companies, you're going to have contact with them by emails. You send them an email and let them know that, hey, you're interested in selling their product in a nutshell. And like I say, I have a template if you want to use it. And I haven't had no problem with it. And I'm just getting like distributors after distributors that just telling me like, hey, this is what you need, send us this and you're good. So basically, Amazon, you're going to need a tax ID to get started with Amazon anyway. But in order to deal with authorized distributors, they're going to ask you for your sales certificate. Each state has a sales certificate. You're going to need that sales certificate. In order to get the sales certificate, which is, the system. In order to get the sales certificate in the state of Georgia, and I don't know about every other state, but in the state of Georgia, you're going to have a business license. So basically, your tax ID, business license, sales certificate. You present that stuff to the distributor once they request it. Once they say, okay, yeah, we interested, send us these documentation. That is what they're gonna ask for. They most of the time they're gonna ask you for your tax ID and your sales certificate. They're really not gonna ask you for the business license because they know that most states, if you got the sales certificate, you most likely you got the business license. So you send those documentation in, and sometimes they will have their own form that you need to complete as well for their records in order for them to build a record on you. And then you send that stuff in, they will approve you. You make your purchase, they send you the invoice. You take that invoice and you send it in to Amazon for that particular item that you're trying to sell. Now, the way Amazon got it played is you got to at least order 10 of the same item in order to get ungated in that particular brand. One thing I just learned today by dealing with a person I'm trying to help get ungated in some items is that now, different from the way it used to be for me, and that's why I said on my show last Friday that Amazon is starting to change their processes for people to come on board and become a third-party reseller. So basically, what I learned today is that you not only have to submit that invoice, you got to now wait and take pictures of your product that you're trying to send in to Amazon. Now, keep in mind, when you make that investment to get that invoice from the distributor, those items you probably can eventually sell on Amazon or eBay, but those you got to keep in mind is that the money you invest for the invoice is not to make money off the product that you purchased from the distributor on the first go round. The first go round you're trying to do is get that invoice, get it into Amazon so you can get ungated. Now, as time moves on, you may look back and say, okay, let me go back to that distributor and see what they have on closeout. On closeout, that's where you get your deals at. You can go back and you can buy 100 pieces of this, 200 pieces of that, 300 pieces of this, and that's where you get where you hear Amazon resellers talking about they got a wholesale account or they deal in wholesale. That's basically what you're doing now. But initially, to get ungated, speaking of the question that I was asked, initially to get ungated, you're going to need those documentations that I just mentioned to even get the distributor to talk to you about an invoice.
Okay, awesome, Buffalo. Yeah, I was wondering. I wasn't on the show, but I was listening to your show last week, and you were talking about listen, that Amazon changes the rules of the game, and if they tell you need these certain documents, they could change it up, and it could be harder in the future to go ahead and get signed up in order to qualify to get Amazon seller account. So you're like, if you don't act now, it's going to get harder and harder and harder. Because I was sitting there thinking man, I got my 2 eBay stores. I feel like I'm doing good with that, but I was just like, man, what if next year I want to open up an Amazon account and I got to jump through all these extra hoops in order to make that happen? So I just wanted to say hi to a couple people in the chat. We got Gravity Goods is here. We got Lester Jones says, thank you for this interview. I've been waiting for this one. Yeah, it's going to be a good one for sure. And we got the Bargain Effect is here. So Buffalo, man, can you talk a little bit about your background, not like your whole background story, but you didn't always start reselling on Amazon. You started off selling on eBay, correct?
Exactly.
Can you kind of tell people kind of how that went? Because you told me that you had at one time you had a whole storage unit of merchandise that you had bought to resell on eBay, and you were doing pretty well on eBay. You had built your account up and you were doing pretty well, and you were just like, well, if I want to scale this thing, I'm gonna have to do something different. So I'll put you on full screen. You can go ahead and talk a little bit about your reselling adventures or the way you got started into reselling.
Okay, yeah, I got people hit me up, man. I'm telling them to come in here, and they like, hey, asking me questions on my phone, like, come into the chat.
Buffalo.
Yeah, so basically, I got started, and I can tell briefly about my story. I work full time for the federal government. My supervisor basically told me that if I want to get promoted, I would have to go back to school and finish my degree. At the time, I only had a 2-year degree, and in order, I was led to believe in order to get promoted into the GS-12 pay grade, you got to have your 4-year degree. So as I was going to school, finishing up my 4-year degree, this guest speaker, which is pretty much everybody know him, Steve Harvey, he was the spokesperson for the university, and he came in and he talked about having several streams of income. And he was like, he learned from Warren Buffett that if you want to be rich or you want to be up where money is not a problem, you got to have different streams of income and not just your regular 9 to 5 job, where you just pretty much boxed in on that one paycheck. So that resonated with me, and I went home that same night and I started looking um, on YouTube, trying to figure out what can I do to get another stream of income. I'm like, I know that I'm gonna get promoted as soon as I finish college, and that the federal government will be set. So what else can I do? And I ran across this guy named Reezy Resales, and I'm pretty sure some people in the audience have heard of him. He's a pretty big time reseller on eBay, Amazon, and he got a nice YouTube channel. So I learned a lot from that guy. And if I ever meet him, I'm gonna have to take him out to lunch or dinner or something, because I learned a lot of information just sitting back, watching his techniques, getting the information that he was providing for almost 3 months before I decided to jump in. But when I did jumped into Amazon. I started with eBay first, and I was working eBay. I bought a lot of stuff during the Toys R Us closeout. I was leaving out of Toys R Us with 5 and 6 buggies of toys, as if I really knew what I was doing. And in my mind, I thought I knew what I was doing in theory because of what I was learning from resale. But once I started practical, I seen that there was certain things that you just can't learn from the videos. You got to get out here and get hands-on to kind of learn, exactly how to do this. Now, taking nothing away from resales, a lot of the tactics and techniques that he taught helped me out a lot. I mean, I feel like I'm indebted to him for what I learned from him for those 3 months for free. All the information he had was for free. So I definitely appreciate things that I learned from him. But in the short time that I sold on eBay, I found a niche, which is the Barbies. A lot of people laugh like, man, I know you ain't selling no Barbies. Yes, I was selling Barbies. And I ended up being my first 3 months of selling Barbies, being in the top 10 percentile of selling Barbies on eBay. And once I determined that it's another platform that I want to sell on, because basically what Reezy Resale was basically putting out there was start on eBay, learn how to be a reseller, and then graduate over to Amazon. And Amazon will tell you whether or not you really want to do this. And when I graduated over to Amazon and started selling on Amazon and started seeing the difference in the money, started to see that, I could make 2, 3, 4 times the money that I was making on eBay, I was like, I'm sold. So I started on Amazon. I forgot about my eBay store for a while, but eBay will wake you up, because once the customers start complaining that they're not getting their packages and you canceling orders, eBay will put you in the eBay jail. And I got in the eBay jail for about 3 months. And once I felt like, okay, I can make money from both platforms, I started back concentrating on my eBay store, got my eBay store out of the eBay jail. Now I'm working on both platforms. Even though I'm doing more on Amazon, I haven't forgot about my eBay store, because one thing you're going to learn about in this business as a reseller is you got to have an out. You cannot just rely on one platform. That platform come and say, hey, we don't want you selling no more, then what you going to do? So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, so Buffalo was saying last time I had him on, he had a whole warehouse of toys and stuff like that you was selling on eBay, and you said you were in the top 10 percentile of people that were selling in that category on eBay, right. And then you were thinking okay, if I want to be able to scale and grow my business, I got to be able to sell on other platforms besides eBay, because you only have so many hours in a day and you're only one person. One thing I think you were talking about last week on your show is that, if you were to sell 1,000 items on eBay, it would be no way you'd be able to ship out 1,000 items on eBay in one day. But on Amazon, if you send them into Amazon FBA, you can send all your product into Amazon FBA, and they can pack and pull and ship all the orders for you, versus you trying to pull 100 or 1,000 orders by yourself on eBay. Let's say hypothetically, if you sold that many items in one day, you'd be up a creek without a paddle. You'd be spending so many man hours just trying to get all these orders pulled and shipped out. It would be, you'd be crazy trying to do that.
Right,
So you want to talk a little bit about maybe scaling your business on Amazon versus eBay? Because I don't think there's nothing wrong with having two platforms, right? Go ahead, Buffalo.
Right. It's the way I see it is, the more outs that you can have, the better you're going to be as a reseller. It may cost you a little bit more time, energy, and money, but at the same time, it's going to bring you more money in as well, because now you got several avenues that you can sell or move that product. So the thing about, like I try to explain to people about Amazon, is that when you a seller on eBay and you compare when I do the comparison with eBay and Amazon, I do the comparison based off of FBM on Amazon and a regular seller on eBay, because you basically fulfilling the same mission. You're going out, you're buying a product, you listing it. When it sells, you package it and you ship it to the customer. No difference. But when you want to scale up your business and determine that, hey, I can go out and buy 100, 200, 300 items, send it to Amazon and let Amazon take care, that is where you're going to scale, because with Amazon, volume is the key. With eBay, one-off are the key. You can go and find you an item that you can sell 100 of, but realistically, are you going to sell 100 in a day? And if you are going to sell 100 in a day, how long are you going to take you as a one-man show to get those items packed, prepped and packed and shipped to the customer? Realistically, you send that 100 into Amazon going to do all the heavy lifting. So for me, it pretty much was a no-brainer. Once I got to Amazon and I could take all of my items, create a shipment, pack them all in several different large boxes, let UPS come and pick it up. They take it to the fulfillment center. When I get a sale, Amazon send it out. I remember one time I used to have, like on eBay, you get the little ching ching when you get a sale. Well, on Amazon, I used to have my app set up to give me a notice when I got a sale. I had to turn that off, man, because believe it or not, one night that thing had went off over 50 times. And I just had to get up and just turn it off, because I was excited I was getting the sales, but it went from excitement to being annoyed, especially, if you're married, you got a wife, and you're like, hey, what all that noise? So, but yeah, if you want to scale up your business, and I preach this all the time, I'm not knocking eBay at all. eBay is definitely a good out, and some people making a lot of money over at eBay, but Amazon is all about volume. If you want to move a lot of weight and you got the capital to buy the items and get it moved, Amazon is the way to go. And for people that don't know, what I'm trying to do is I'm all about trying to scale up my business. I have several goals, and I don't want to reveal this on your show, eBay Addy. I'm sorry, man. I'm going to have to reveal it on Friday. But I will say on this show is that I just got approved to sell on Walmart. So now I got eBay, Walmart, Amazon, and Facebook Marketplace. And if you're trying to scale up, that's the mindset you got to have, is what are all these big companies and what are their numbers? That is the key. Look at the numbers. How many visits do they have on their website per year? Amazon over 2 billion. Walmart a close second. Then you got eBay, then you got Facebook Marketplace and these other little platforms that popping up. But that's what you need to look at. Look at the numbers, follow the numbers. Like the rich people say, follow the money, follow the numbers when it comes to these platforms. Whoever got the most visitors, it's just a no-brainer that those websites are going to get the most sales.
Okay, yeah, awesome, Buffalo. Yeah, I think we talked before, and you said that how many users was on the Amazon platform versus eBay, and it was like almost no comparison. It was like it was like, I think, I don't remember how many people it was on Amazon, but I think it was like, what, 50% or 70%? How many? What's the percentage of people in America that have Amazon FBA? Go ahead, talk about that, Buffalo.
So eBay was it was 2 point something billion visitors worldwide to eBay. compared to 50 something million on I meant to on Amazon, 2 point something billion visitors on Amazon compared to 50 something million on eBay. So the close second there was Walmart. So that's why I say I look at the numbers. Those numbers, I mean, you know, it don't take a rocket science. I mean, just look at the numbers. Just see how many visitors they got coming to their website. That should tell you that's, as a reseller, that's where you want to be.
Okay, awesome. Gravity Goods had a question. He said, "Do you recommend Amazon FBA over Merchant Fulfilled?"
All day. All day. I mean, you have to do the comparison, man. What I would say is if you got a big item and you know it would sell, I would just FBM that item from the house because it's going to save you more money, because Amazon is going to charge you more for oversized, and then you know how long it sit at their fulfillment center. All that going to go into play. But if you just say, for instance, if you got 100 Pokemon video games, you want to send those in FBA. You know, send them into the fulfillment center. Let those people ship those to the customer for you. But if you got some one-off big items or item that you look at and you say, okay, well, Amazon going to charge me $27 in fees on this item, I'd rather just ship it from the house. It got a nice rank on it, so I'll have it at the house. Maybe in a couple of weeks it'll sell. If you got the space for that, then I would say FBM those items. But if you got multiple quantities of items, ship that stuff on in, man, because that stuff will be sold in a week, and then you'll get the money back and you'll be ready to go out and buy more.
Okay, right. So Buffalo, could you talk a little bit about when you know, on Amazon, they determine you're only allowed to have so much square footage in their warehouse. Like you have to like meet certain criteria to do that, and also there's storage fees involved. And then you want to look at the sales rank, because some items, because like Gravity Goods said, if I have 20 books, should I send them into Amazon FBA? I would say it depends on what the sales rank is, because you don't want dead merchandise sitting there for 6 months, and then now you're starting to pay these storage fees just because you wanted to go send it in. You got to look at the sales rank. You got to see if the item's going to be profitable, because you know somebody could give me books for free, right? But by the time you pay your storage fees and Amazon gets their cut and you pay your pick and pack fees, you could get merchandise for free and still not make a profit on sending it into Amazon FBA. So you want to talk a little bit about how much storage space you have, the pick and pack fees, all that stuff, all that. Go ahead, I'll put you on full screen. Go ahead. So
basically, you got what Amazon calls an IPI score, which is a performance score. And they have changed that. I talked about that on my show. It used to be 500. If you had 500, you got unlimited space at the fulfillment center. But now what they have done, they moved it back down to 400, and now they just gonna, well, when they do this next evaluation, which is this month, I think, which is this week, then what they're gonna do is they're gonna move it back up to 450. So if you got a 450 IPI score, you got unlimited storage. Now, if you don't have that 450, you below 450, then you're gonna have limited storage. That meaning that they're gonna give you enough space to do business, but if you send stuff in and it's over your allotted space, then you're gonna get taxed on that. Far as the fees go, I don't know right off my head at the moment, but I do know that there is a huge fee that comes with you being over your allotted space limit. Now, if I forgot the second part of that question, eBay Addict.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the sales rank of the item, because the sales velocity, and then you want to talk a little bit about your storage, because you don't just think, okay, I've got 20 books or 50 books, I'm gonna go ahead and send them into Amazon FBA. You want to think about, you know, your storage fees, your pick and pack fees, the Amazon FBA fees. So I was saying that even if somebody said to you, hey, Buffalo Picker, I'm gonna give you these 20 books for you to go ahead and send into Amazon FBA, even if I gave them to you for free, it doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna make a profit on that item. That's what I was trying to say. Go ahead.
So basically, what you're gonna have to do is make sure you use the tools that you're given. You got a free tool that Amazon give you, which is the eBay Seller app. That tool pretty much break down your profits and losses. You know, it's gonna break down like the fees, it's gonna break down the shipping, and it's gonna break down, you know, how much it costs you to purchase that item and what your potential gains from that item. So what you got to do is, and this is what people get lost in the sauce with the books, is if you find a book that rank 1,000,000, common sense gonna say, I ain't touching that book. But it goes deeper than that. What you got to look at, if you find a book ranked 1,000,000, what you got to look at is, for one, how many people on Amazon is selling that book right now, right? Two, what you got to look at is how much is that book selling for? And three, what are the fees? Once you determine that, so if we go in that scenario and we look at it, we say, okay, only 2 people selling that book on Amazon, I can make $60 off of that because the book is only going to cost me $1, and the fees are probably $28. You can look at saying, okay, the rank is super high, so I'm not going to ship this in to FBM because it may take a year for it to sell. So that would be an ideal book that you would keep at the house and do FBM. You would still list the book, but you'll hold it at the house for FBM. That is not a book that you would ship into Amazon. My recommendation is any book over 250,000 rank, and you know you can make some money off of it, sell that book from the house. Don't ship it in. Now, a caveat to that is Amazon do have triggers that you can set up for your storage. So if you say, when my stuff hit the 60-day mark, I want it returned home, or once it hit the 90-day mark, I want it returned home. You can have that set up, you know, but the thing is, you're going to have to be monitoring your account to make sure that you're getting sales, because you don't want to turn around one day and you look up and you got 90 boxes at your doorstep because you told Amazon to ship it back before they kick in the storage fees. So those triggers are there, but monitor your products. You cannot just ship your stuff to FBM and fold your arms and say, okay, they got it. No, it don't work like that. Now, but to prevent you from having those extreme fees, you can set your triggers and say, when it's hit 90 days, I want y'all to cut it off, package it up, and ship it back home to me. That way I prevent from getting those extreme fees. Now, Amazon can do that and will save money, and I recommend that. But at the same time, if you got 100 books there and you like, you know, these books I paid 10 cents for, go ahead and have your liquidation sale. Get those books gone so that you don't have to, for one, bring those books back to the house, and you can still make somewhat of a profit off of those books instead of, you know, trying to be greedy and make $10. You know, go ahead and make 5, and that way you ain't got to deal with those books no more.
Right. Awesome. Now, Buffalo, if somebody is on the fence, maybe they're an eBay seller, they haven't jumped on Amazon before, they're kind of, you know how it is when someone kind of, they kind of want to stick their toe in the water to see if the water is hot or cold or see what it is. They don't want to jump in head first, but they're kind of wishy-washy. They're kind of like, I don't know if I want to do this or not. Can you explain right now, this is the time that you need to go ahead and jump on Amazon? If you're kind of on the fence, if you're like, man, I've never sold on Amazon, I don't know, you know, what type of time investment, how much money I got to spend, how much capital I need to spend to get started. Like, explain like why it's important that if you're like on the fence that you should go ahead and jump in and get you an account on Amazon.
Right. So basically, what you got to look at is Amazon and Amazon, eBay, Walmart, they're no different from us. It's like if I look at eBay Addict and I see that, you know, he's doing something and he's successful at it, I'm going to try to see what is it that he's doing, and two, try to mimic some of the stuff that he's doing so that I can be successful. The companies are no different. What Amazon is doing now is Amazon is sitting back and they watching Walmart. They seeing what Walmart is doing. They see that Walmart is putting in all these measures to stream people in or out of the system to be a third-party reseller. Well, Walmart is doing some things that Amazon wasn't doing. So now Amazon is sitting on the bench and they saying, okay, maybe we need to incorporate some of this stuff so that we can streamline people that was trying to be third-party resellers on our platform and and create a process of elimination. Because I know that when I first started selling, all you had to do is pay the $39.99, fill out the paperwork that was requested, good to go. You're a reseller. Somebody that I just signed up for reselling 2 months ago, the system was a little different. So that what they had to do, basically pay the $39.99, fill out the paperwork that was requested, and also do a interview with Amazon to see that you are the person that you say you are. It had to be a video interview. It wasn't a telephonic interview. So that's a new change. So what Walmart is doing, Walmart is requiring you to have a website, functional running website, in order, no matter what your performance is on Amazon or eBay, you still got to present that website showing them that you have a fully functional website in order to get approved as a third-party reseller on Walmart. So Amazon is going to incorporate that too, guaranteed. And whatever else they're going to come up with, because they're not going to just keep letting resellers join the platform. You look at Amazon, I think they said Amazon had over 1,000 and something resellers joining their platform a month. So eventually they're going to tap out. They're going to be to the point where, hey, we don't need no more resellers, or we're going to put these guys on a waiting list, or if you don't have a website, you can't sell on Amazon. I mean, the stuff is coming. You can see the changes are coming. You know, so if you think about putting your feet in the water, I would say if you're going to join Amazon, you need to be on Amazon train no later than June. And the reason I say June is because what that gives you is July and August to make some sales in order to be able to sell during Q4, sell toys during Q4 for Amazon. If you wait till, say, August to jump on the train, more than likely you're not going to make enough sales for you to be approved to sell toys for Q4. And everybody that sell on Amazon know that in order to make good money during Q4, you got to be ungated to sell toys. So if your feet are, if you're thinking that, hey, I don't have enough money to do this, that may be fine. Then, don't jump on the train this year. But what you can do is go ahead and work your tail off for whatever platform you're selling on right now. Get your money up, and then come January of 2022, you sign up for Amazon. Now you got capital, and you can get in there. You're gonna catch those after Christmas sales. You can buy stuff for cheap, like I'm doing. I mean, I got a third car garage almost full of toys that I've been hitting up at Walmart for these sales. And if you're not hitting Walmart now, and you got the money, you're missing out on some good deals.
Okay, awesome. I wanted to say hi to the Flippin' Sports guys in the chat. Hollywood Reseller is here in the chat hanging out with us. And I missed Vlad's Closet was here hanging out. So I didn't mean to miss anybody in the chat. Hollywood Reseller had a question. He said, what first got you into selling online? He wanted to know what got you selling on to being a reseller.
Yeah, so what I used to do, I like watching the History Channel. And what I used to do was watch American Pickers. And I was like, man, that would be neat to go out and find some of this stuff they finding and this and that. And I was like, man, I just, at the time, I didn't know anything about Amazon, anything about eBay. I just knew, because in my mindset, reselling was so far away from me that I couldn't even see it. I just knew that if I order something from Amazon, I get a package at my house. If I order something from eBay, I get a package at my house. But I did not know anything about third-party resellers on these platforms. My mindset was it coming from Amazon, like Amazon running the whole operation. Third party ain't got nothing to do with it. But I used to watch American Pickers, and that what kind of led me to let me go on Amazon, on YouTube. After I got that little lesson from Steve Harvey, I went on YouTube and I started looking around. And I seen something saying this guy sold 600 something books in a year. I mean, he made $600,000 in a year selling books. And I'm like, oh, let me go see what that is. And that was Reason Resale. And it went from there to him showing him going out into the stores, buying shoes, buying clothes, buying toys. And I was like, man, that's just like American Pickers. And that's what got me hooked from there. That's what got me wrapped up into his videos to watch how you resell. And from there, 3 months later, I was into reselling.
Land Shark Picker says, I'm just here for the Barbie talk. Are we there yet?
Triple OG. Land Shark Picker.
Right. So Buffalo Pickerman, so you're basically saying that if people aren't on the Amazon, if they haven't started an account now, they want to do so as soon as possible. So that way they can be grandfathered in, because if they start coming up with these new rules and laws and regulations on your account, it could be harder and harder to get in. And there are people that's making good money reselling on Amazon. Like if you put the work in, it's a real opportunity, right?
Right. It's coming, man. I mean, like I said, just the changes that I have noticed with people that I have helped get onto the platform, it's coming, because they are doing the things that I mentioned. They are doing differently than what I had to do when I joined 3 years ago. So the changes are coming. And, just like I mentioned, Amazon is no different from us when it comes to doing business. They looking at what their competitors are doing. That's what we do. We look at what our competitors are doing. Amazon is looking at what Walmart is doing to bring in the third-party resellers. And Walmart is doing it a little bit differently. I say a little bit harder than what Amazon is doing. So Amazon going to eventually get there. And like I said, you can see some of the changes right now if you talk to some of the new resellers of what they got to go through to get their account open compared to us older resellers and what we had to go through. So if you on the fence, you need to jump on in, because it's going to get harder and harder.
Yeah, Buffalo Picker said he had a whole 3-car garage full of toys, full of merchandise and stuff to sell. I mean, bro, come on now. I got a little shed of merchandise. I ain't got a big garage full of merchandise like that. So, Buffalo, man, talk to me, bro. Now, if I'm a new Amazon seller, what kind of startup capital do I need to get started? Because, I was talking to Richie Hustles. He said he started with $200. So how much money do you need to get started on Amazon's platform? What are some of the things that you need, like essential things that you need? Is there certain apps that you need? Like, do you need Scout IQ? Is there certain apps that you need to get started? Is there a scan gun? Talk to me a little bit about what are the basic 3 or 4 things that you need just to get started on Amazon where you can start making some real money. Go ahead. I'll put you on full screen.
So basically, when I started with Amazon, I just started out with what I was given. And I recommend that to anybody that's coming out. Don't try to jump on all these exotic apps out here, because you got to get the money in first. Get a good 6 months to a year under your belt of reselling on Amazon before you invest in all these other different apps out here, or programs or software that can help you do things a little better. Now, there's a bunch of free softwares out here that you can use, and I'll give you one, Helium 10. I mean, I use that particular program on my on my Chrome extensions. So what I do, it'll tell me how often that item sell in a month and what my competitors have in inventory. If they have 10 of them, or what they selling them for. That's some good information to know behind the scenes as a reseller, because that tells me how long I would need to sell on my item, or what can I sell it for to be in the sweet spot. So that's a free app that you can use, but I recommend just use the free stuff that you're given, and until you can get your money up. And then once you get your money up, then you allot some of that money towards some of these programs. Like I sold on Amazon for almost a year before I went into Inventory Lab. Inventory Lab make your shipment so easy, and it keep up with all your numbers. It keep up with what you got selling on Amazon, when it sold, all that stuff. It's just like a one-stop shop to keep up with your inventory at Amazon and create your shipments. But do I recommend that to a new reseller? No, because that comes with a premium. Every month they're gonna want their money, and if you can't provide them their money, they're going to stop your access. So no, I don't recommend that stuff. What I recommend is learn how to do your shipments on Amazon, which is free. Use the Amazon reseller app, And that's pretty much all you need for a startup goes. I'm in agreement with Richard Hustle. You know, $200, whatever you got, just keep flipping it until it snowballs. You know, my thing is Richard Hustle said he started out with 200. I started out with 2,000. You know, but you don't have to start out with 2,000. You can start out with 200. You can start out with 100. You know, but what you got to keep in mind is once you start that money rolling, you cannot take away from that money. So do not invest more than what you have to lose. You know, you cannot go in there and say, okay, well, I'm gonna put in 500. After a couple of months of selling, I'm gonna take 2 of that and just, you know, pay myself. Nah, keep that money rolling for the whole year. Then you pay yourself.
Right, but you want to have a separate bank account just for your Amazon account, correct?
Right.
You don't. None of that don't need to be for personal funds. That's just a separate business account just for your Amazon account. Because I talk about that a lot. Whether you're selling on eBay or Amazon, you want to have a separate bank account just for your reselling business. Not for going out to Taco Bell, not for getting a Happy Meal, not for getting a Big Mac. Just for stuff for your reselling business.
Let me throw this in there. So for the people, and I'm not talking about the side hustle people. I'm talking about the people that trying to create a business. If you got your documentations in order, you can go to Taco Bell and you know all the other restaurants you want to eat at, because you can write that stuff off. That could be, you know, a business dinner or whatever. You know, you can't just say every day I'm going to Taco Bell, I'm going to write it off. No, I'm saying take some of those tabs and write them off for your deduction from your business. Now, one thing you got to also understand too is when you get into saying you're going to have a business, you want to have that entity separated. You want your personal funds and property and everything separated from your business. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is you got to get an LLC. You know, but I don't want to get into that topic, but I just want to throw that out there. If you are looking at saying, I want to create a full-fledged business, the next step is go from that sole proprietor and get into the LLC.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to say hi to Dragon Value is in the chat. Kelly Reseller Lewis is here hanging out with us. And Landshark Picker is here. And we got Derek from Fundamentals of Side Hustling is here. But no, all I was trying to say is that you just want to have a mindset of, I want to treat this as a business instead of a hobby, because there's some people that are hobby resellers and maybe they're retired, or maybe they're just doing it to make some extra money on the side, versus somebody that's saying, hey, I want to grow this into a business where I'm making 6 figures a year as a reseller, because it is possible if you put the work in, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, it's all about the work. And one thing, like I always tell people that, you know, they just doing it as a hobby or a side hustle. You as the reseller is not going to determine whether or not you doing this as a hobby or a side hustle. The IRS is going to determine that, because if you go into the reseller and all of a sudden, you know, you done made $20,000 without, you know, even trying, IRS going to come, they're going to want their share, because, you know, that documentation is going to be sent to the IRS, whether you agree with it or not. They're going to want their share of the pie. So you got to be kind of careful with that. You got to monitor, like, you know, okay, Amazon say if I make 20 G's, you know, they're going to report it to the IRS. Somebody put that out there. That's, to me, that's just a rumor. I think if you, whatever money you make with it. So be kind of careful with that.
Okay, cool. Now, can you talk a little bit about what are some things that people can do? Hey, hold on 1 second, Buffalo. I'm doing something different on my channel, and if somebody in the chat has questions, we're bringing them on the channel to let them ask questions. So I just started this yesterday. So we got we got Dragon in the house. What's up, Dragon?
What's going on? Going up, going around.
How are you
Buffalo
doing today?
Picker, I'm gonna say this to you. You my hero, bro.
I appreciate it.
I'm just going to say that, man. Anyway, the reason that I jumped on here, I just wanted to, you know, I appreciate this talk because I'm moving from a hobby into a real business this year.
Right.
Not only is that a goal, that's a reality. I'm getting a 1099 for the first time. So in saying that, you know, you've given a couple of good tips on the LLC. What is now? Right now, I'm a sole proprietor.
Right.
Now, what is the advantage to a LLC? I've never really understood that.
So LLC. So as a sole proprietor, right?
Yeah.
Let's say hypothetically, you made a sale with somebody, and y'all make arrangement where they're gonna come to your house to pick it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they get hurt on your property, they can sue you. They can take your house. They can take your car. They can take whatever, whatever the law allowed them to take on a civil suit. Now, if you got an LLC and they come to buy something from you, whether they in your establishment, your house, on your property, whatever, they don't have no grounds to your personal stuff. So basically, the LLC separate your business. Your business is a separate entity from all your personal property. That's what the LLC represent. Also, as well, you're gonna get more deductibles in your business than you could as a sole proprietor.
Okay. Is that where you can actually take a salary?
Let me say this, man. I got all this information from a CPA. Mm-hmm. I mean, once I got that information, it's enlightened me to take my business to another level as well. So what I would suggest to you is get with a good CPA and ask them those same questions to see if you're going to get the same answers. Now, that's what my CPA told me, and it's golden. And that's why I'm able to relay it to you all, because I know it's the truth. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, just for the respect factor, go to your CPA and get that information for yourself. Now, what state are you in?
I'm in California.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, I mean, in Georgia, I did my LLC myself. In Georgia, it's so simple. Once you get your business license and your sales certificate, you can go straight to their website to fill out the information. And according to how much money you want to pay, you can have it back in 24 hours, 48 hours, or 1 week.
Okay.
So I paid $100 and got mine in 1 week.
Okay. Yeah, that's not only the plan, but I've got it written down. I'm ready to rock and roll. I think the challenge for me, as if everyone doesn't know, that I'm a full-time nurse,
right?
And so that the pandemic has really stifled me in so many ways, but that's not a bad thing, because I'm looking at it like it's just an opportunity to overcome the obstacles.
Right.
So with that being said, man, I appreciate your information. Thank you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And eBay addicts, you the man too, man. I ain't gonna leave you out. You're all right.
Yeah, all man. Right. If you have any questions, man, just hit me up on Instagram. If I don't get back to you right away, I will get back to you within a couple of hours. But yeah, man, I don't have no problem sharing this information, man, because like I tell everybody, my blessings come from Almighty, man. They don't come from man.
I appreciate that. That's right. Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, I'm gonna jump off here and let somebody else get some FaceTime. But y'all have a blessed day.
All right, you too. Now.
Thanks for stopping by.
All right.
So Buffalo, I'm sorry, bro. I was getting ready to ask you a question, man. If somebody wanted to grow or scale their business, whether it's on eBay or Amazon, you have 2 or 3 tips that would help somebody out. If they're a reseller, if they're like, hey, I've been doing this part-time for a little while, I'm ready to grow and expand my business. You got 2 or 3 tips that you could go ahead and throw at them. Maybe that would help them, get them in the right direction, get them moving.
Right. So one thing you don't want to do is commingle your money. Do not commingle your money. That means do not take your money and put it on personal items. Do not take your money and take it from one platform to another platform, unless you just want to be solely on one platform and using this certain platform to help build your capital up so you can move it to another platform. I don't recommend that, but I'm just telling you, rule number 1 is do not commingle your funds. Rule number 2, reselling is all about having inventory. So the more inventory you can get your hands on, like for me, I do retail arbitrage, but my business model is changing for 2021. And like I said, I told eBay ad, I don't want to reveal it on this show. I'm going to reveal it on Friday on my show. But you got to have a way to get inventory in order to scale your business up and have outs. If you don't pigeonhole yourself to one platform, Don't go and say, well, I'm gonna be a strictly eBay seller. You know, look for other avenues. Not saying you got to jump over there on Amazon, not saying that, but what I am saying is if you're gonna sell on eBay, maybe look at Poshmark, maybe look at Macari, maybe look at Facebook Marketplace. Have other outs to move your. The more outs you can have, the better chances of you moving your product. So those are the 3 tips I'll give: is have multiple outs to move your product. Have a way to get a bunch of products, not just these one-off. If you can afford to get a turbo, a HD turbo pallet, or any type of these what they call Galar pallets that are shelf pools, and you did your homework to know that this stuff does sell on the platform that you sell on, invest in that. Because it's nothing like going out buying 500-600 items for a flat rate than going out to 10 or 12 or 15 stores trying to find items to sell. You talking about getting all this at one drop compared to spending your time running to 15 stores to try to get the same amount of volume. So that's another thing, is try to figure out ways to increase your inventory and do not commingle your funds. Keep your funds separate. That's where you can keep up with your profits margins. So those are the 3 advice that I can give for anybody that's trying to scale up their business.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to say hi to a few people in the chat. We have Cali Reseller Lewis is here. Hollywood Resell, the Resell Brothers are here in the house. Leroy is here hanging out for Blood, Sweat, and Sell. I saw your live stream with Art Vandelay yesterday, man. You did a good job. Lester Jones is in the chat. He said, I did my LLC an hour ago and got it online as soon as I got paid. Said he's in Virginia. Kelly Reseller Lewis says, Tommy is speaking some knowledge. We got my buddy Sir Flips-A-Lot is here all the way from Germany. And let's see. I think that's it. We have one question from Hollywood Reseller. He says, can you give us an idea of how it works to create your own website?
I mean, yeah, I could do that, man, but I can't do it on the show. I mean, I can do it, but it's really in depth. And I mean, if you hit me up on Instagram, I can basically give you the information on how to do it. I just don't want to be talking about it right here. I mean, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people might see this. I don't know. So I'd rather just give it to individuals. If you need how to create a website, just hit me up on Instagram. I don't have a problem sharing that information.
All right, awesome. So, Buffalo Picker, tell everybody where they can find you at on Instagram and YouTube, and go ahead and plug your show. Tell everybody about your YouTube channel, because I'm there hanging out a lot of times, even if I'm not on the show. I'm usually in the background listing items or working, and I listen to it while I'm running around doing errands or whatever it is. So tell everybody about where they can find you at on YouTube and Instagram, and tell everybody about your show.
All right, so if you're looking for me, you can find me at the same name, Buffalo Picker, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. I have a show every Friday night at 7:30. This particular show this Friday night is going to be heavily Amazon. I have another big time home run hitter that's going to be on the show, and most of y'all may have heard of him. It's Richie Hustle. He's going to be on my show Friday night, and we're going to be talking a lot about Amazon. So if I got to throw him in the conversation, I will, but I'm just basically going to open up the door so he can let it flow about what he do with Amazon and how he do Amazon. We pretty much kind of do things similar, but he got a little different twist than I do. So I'm going to let him come in and just discuss that. Also, too, I have a Facebook group for resellers. It is Buffalo Picker Community Reseller Group. That group is open for anybody that want to join to advertise and promote your business. Only thing I ask on that channel is that we don't do politics and be mean to each other. So if you want to promote your YouTube channel or something that you're selling or your stores, go in there. Feel free to do anything reselling.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. So Richie Hustles is a great guest. I've had him on my channel before, so you guys should stop by and check it out. And you never know who will stop by, who will be a guest on his channel. I think
Yep.
Emily Conway was on last week, so you never
Right.
know who's going to stop by.
Right.
So hey, Buffalo Picker Man, we appreciate you coming on the show. We've been an hour on the live stream today. We appreciate you coming and hanging out with us and sharing a lot of knowledge and insights with us, man. Give me your final thoughts, Buffalo Picker Man, and let people know. Say, listen, man, if y'all ain't out here and you're not out here hustling, you're not out here, selling stuff on Amazon, you need to get started, right? I mean, you can get started where you are with what you got. Even if you only got $200, you can roll with that, right? To go ahead and give me your final thoughts.
So my final thought is nothing moves until you do. So remember that until you decide to move, nothing is going to move. And with this business, in order to be successful, you got to put in the work. This is not nothing that anybody going to give to you. I can give you all the information about Amazon until your ears start smoking. Until you're ready to move and put in this work, it's nothing going to happen. So remember that nothing moves until you do.
I'm definitely can relate to that. All right, guys, you guys have a great day. And like I said, go follow Buffalo Picker. Links are down in the description. Go check them out on Instagram and YouTube. And you guys have a great day. I appreciate you guys for coming on. Have a great day. Bye, guys.
All right, you all too now.
All right, bye.